All right, so even though numerous investment options are available in the national market, many Indians are now exploring international properties. But what are the do's and don'ts for buying a property abroad? How can a resident Indian and non-resident Indian buy real estate abroad? And what does RBI guidelines say about purchasing a property outside India? Let's answer all of these questions. And I have Anuj Puri, Chairman, ANAROCK Group, and Anil Rego, Founder, CEO, Right Horizons, with me today. Anuj and Anil, good evening and welcome to the show. Anuj, I'll come to you first because I really want to know what are those locations abroad that Indians want to go ahead and buy real estate at, and usually is it a big trend, or you think it's just a one-off thing that we are seeing right now?
First of all, Kavita, it's always a delight to be on your show, and good evening to all your viewers. So it is a very increasing phenomena that we are discovering by high net worth individuals to buy real estate overseas. Some of the most attractive locations are London, Canada, Dubai, and Portugal. And various reasons for that, Kavita, is whether it is that the kids are studying abroad and they want to buy property for the kids to be able to live in there, whether it's a status symbol, whether it's investment that they're doing. Majority of them are buying it because they are able to get permanent residency. So, for example, in Portugal, if you were to buy a property above a certain limit, or in Dubai, you do get permanent residency in those countries. The most popular that I would say is amongst all the jurisdictions that I enumerated is Dubai. It has really become very hot at this moment in time for a number of Indians to buy real estate under the liberalized remittance scheme in Dubai.
Exactly. I'm going to go deeper in terms of financial planning aspect of buying these properties abroad, and also what kind of properties are people buying. But then before that, Anil, let's also get into the legal aspect of this entire situation. What's been the rule and law so far, and what's changed? How can an Indian buy real estate abroad?
Yeah, today actually it's reasonably liberalized in terms of for an Indian to buy property overseas. The limit also is reasonable, as per the liberalized remittance scheme, or the LRS. Basically, up to $250,000 per person per year, you can use this money to buy property, overseas. So that's sort of the key regulation, which sort of allows you to go and invest in property overseas. Now, you can also get it, let's say, through an inheritance, or if NRIs are there who have sort of returned back to India, you can use a resident foreign currency account. If you are an NRI and you're still overseas, then you can buy a property from the proceeds which you have earned externally. Okay, and it's been a little liberalized, and there are a lot of things that you can do today, including jointly, you can buy with a relative. Okay, and so today, for somebody who's looking to buy a property, you need not only buy it in India, you can also go overseas and say husband and wife together, for example, $500,000 is something that, you can easily do it in a year. And if not, you can, over a combination of multiple years, you can end up transferring money and sort of buying a property.
Exactly, because when you talk about financial planning and when we talk about diversifying your portfolio across asset classes, this can be really a fantastic option. So Anuj, let's help our viewers buy a property in London, Canada, Portugal, Dubai. Okay, these 4 markets we are going to focus on, and you are going to tell me the property rates over there and what kind of real estate are actually Indians preferring in these markets.
So Kavita, majority of the inquiries that we're getting is in the range. For Dubai, it's probably the least. So it's about $500,000, which is, I would say, about 3.5 to 4 crore rupees. That is where majority of the buyers are looking to get into that market from India into Dubai. As you get into Canada, Singapore, and Dubai, it goes up to $1 million, which is about 8 crores and above. 8 to 10 crores is where the sweet spot is. But Dubai is the least. And in that comparison, Portugal comes somewhere in between Dubai and London or Canada at about 5.5, 6 crores. So that is what the range is. We've also started to see now in Dubai, people wanting to buy properties of 1.5, 2 crores as well. And fortunately, Kavita, there are a number of very good quality developers who are developing properties in that range in Dubai, and a lot of it is really catered towards the Indians who are looking to buy property in Dubai from India. Also, it's quite easy, 2.5, 3 hour flight from Bombay. It's also a status symbol. People are wanting to go there for holidays. Dubai that way has become quite an interesting destination. And as I said, apart from investment, diversified investment, it's also become a status symbol in there. So I would say is a lot of that inquiry that we are getting in is largely for Dubai, but the other ones, Canada and London, more from sort of kids' education, or these are really ultra high net worth individuals who want to relocate in those markets, and then Portugal because of the permanent residency that you get if you were to buy a property there.
Talk about law and rules and regulations, Anuj. How investor friendly are these markets? I think you highlighted a couple of things for Dubai because they are really attracting Indians and they are coming up with schemes and offers. But then what about the other markets?
So Portugal is very similar to Dubai, where you do get permanent residency, and if you live there for long enough, you do get the passport, and clearly it is a European Union passport, so you are able to get into the EU countries through that passport. So that's pretty simple, just like where Dubai is. Some of the other markets are a little bit more challenging as far as the legality is concerned. I wouldn't say challenging, it's a little bit more tedious than if you were to invest in Dubai and Portugal, London, Canada, and Singapore. But you do get the ability to be able to get mortgage in these markets and be able to sort of raise, debt in there. One thing good about these markets, Kavita, is that, ability to buy good quality residential in the secondary market is very much available, for those investors who are going into these markets.
Now, Anil, the financial planning part of this, can buying real estate abroad can be your financial goal, just like the one you want to do it in India? A lot of us grew up with this dream, okay? We save, invest a lot of money for it, and also while going ahead, we take a loan to buy a house. Can all this be done when you want to buy a property abroad?
Yeah, definitely. I think that is, a goal that somebody can have. However, I think you need to look at all the aspects, surrounding it. For example, if you buy it overseas, you're probably, buying it for, citizenship, or you're probably looking at it for an investment. You today have rental yield opportunities which are there, or maybe, your children are there, and, so there'll probably be a reason or the other, because along with, let's say, buying the property, if you want to plan to stay there, then you need to think of how you're going to go about its citizenship and the other aspects of immigration, right? So that is something that one looks at various constraints. But yes, once you're clear and you have the reasons for doing it, then you say, okay, this is my goal. First of all, you'll have to start coming back and saying, what is the amount that I need to plan for? What is the time frame? If it's a longer period of time, then you can build it up over a period of time. If you want to build up something for your children or for immigration purposes, etc., then that is something which you can plan within that time frame. Then it comes back to saying, what do I have right now? What is the gap? And go about doing a financial plan in it. See, typically, when would somebody do it? You would do it if you're probably in the ultra HNI category, right? So you already have your properties in India, you have assets, there is surplus, and then you start looking at maybe even diversifying real estate beyond India. Okay, then you would sort of make it happen, and maybe a residency, is something that you may be wanting to look at either for yourself or your children, right? So there, it definitely is sort of thing to consider, and once one does the plan, okay, then it's about how do you get towards execution and looking at all the nitty-gritties and possibly the of buying the property as well as remitting the money overseas.
Anil, also, what would be the tax implications?
See, when you're buying a property, there's no tax implication. but actually when you sell it, then it will sort of be treated as capital gains. Okay, again at that point of time one doesn't know whether you're in India, not in India, and you're a resident of India, etc. But it will be a non-real estate thing, assuming that you also sell it while you are sort of an Indian resident. So the rules will be sort of similar to what it is for somebody who's buying and selling a property in India from a capital gains standpoint.
Sure. Anuj, first of all, what kind of tax implication? I think I've just asked this question to Anil, but then to you, can Indians have rental income with this kind of property abroad? And how do you think people who have lived all their life abroad come back to India and then rent out those properties? Do you see this kind of trend coming up as well, Anuj?
Certainly, Kavita, rental yields in India, Kavita, are about, for residential, is about 2%. In many of these jurisdictions, the rental yields are very attractive. Dubai, you can get up to 6-7%. In UK, you can get up to 4.5-5% or 4%, I would say. So, far greater than what you would be able to get in India. Can you earn rental on these assets? Absolutely. Can you bring it to India? Absolutely. No problem on that. But very attractive yields in comparison to Indian residential yields.
Sure. All right, so I think that will be all, and these are the nitty-gritties involved if at all you are someone who's looking for further diversification in your real estate portfolio, and that is a property abroad. Thank you so much, Anil and Anuj, for being on the show and helping our viewers with this. On that note, we'll take a quick break, and post that, let's talk about green deposits. Now, when we already have fixed deposits, and that's been one of the favorite traditional investment category for most of Indians, what exactly is green deposit? Let's understand all of this after this break.